Hi, and welcome back to the Trucking Scribe. It's Esther. Today, we finished the covers. We're going to work on this collage window envelope that I've got here that opens up. So that is going to take up most of the time. I did put a few little pockets in, but I decided to put that in a different video so it wouldn't be so long. I did a few envelopes, putting them together, so I hope that you enjoyed the video. So today we are we're looking at Romans chapter 11. And Paul is talking to the Gentiles and the Jews both about how God rejected his own people, the nation of Israel, and hardened some of their hearts. But at the same time, there were those who believed by faith. And do you remember God's reply? He said, "No, I have 7,000 others who will never bow down to Baal." He is the ancient god that they used to worship back in the Old Testament. So it is the same today, for a few of the people of Israel have remained faithful because of God's grace, his undeserved kindness in choosing them. And since it is through God's kindness, and it is not by their good works, for in that case, God's grace would not be what it really is, free and undeserved. So he goes on, so this is the situation. Most of the people of Israel have not found the favor of God they were looking for so earnestly. A few have, the ones God has chosen, but the hearts of the rest were hardened. As the scriptures say, God has put them into a deep sleep. To this day he has shut their eyes so they do not see, closed their ears so they do not hear. Likewise, David said, "Let their bountiful table become a snare, a trap that makes them think all is well. Let their blessings cause them to stumble, and let them get what they deserve. Let their eyes go blind so they cannot see, and let their backs be bent forever." Did God's people stumble and fall beyond recovery? So did they fall were they so bad that they were just beyond God's reach? Paul says, of course not. They were disobedient, so God made salvation available to the Gentiles, who is everyone else outside of the Israelites. But he wanted his own people to become jealous and claim it for themselves. Now, if the Gentiles were enriched because of the people of Israel turned down God's offer of salvation, think how much greater a blessing the world will share when they finally accept it. So Paul it's talking about how the Gentiles are getting saved, whereas the Israelites, because they didn't believe or they didn't have that faith in God, were not. So then Paul switches sides and he says, "I'm saying all this especially for you Gentiles. God has appointed me as the apostle of the Gentiles. I stress this, for I want somehow to make the people of Israel jealous of what you Gentiles have, so I might save some of them. For since their rejection meant that God's salvation to the rest of the world, their acceptance will be even more wonderful. It will be life for those who were dead. And since Abraham and the other patriarchs were those who were holy, their descendants will also be holy, just as the entire batch of dough is holy because the portion given as an offering is holy. For if the roots of the tree are holy, the branches will be too." So that makes me think of sourdough bread. You get this starter mix and you feed it and let it sour, and so you're adding a little flour every day, pouring off a little bit of the old and putting more flour in and water, and you just keep doing that. Well, you can take a little tablespoon of that mixture and make a big loaf of bread that expands and grows, and that's what he's talking about. You got this little piece that has that glory in it and that faith in it, and it just keeps going. So Paul, and this was where I really like this part, but some of the branches from Abraham's tree, so he's talking about Abraham again, some of the people of Israel have been broken off. So the tree of Abraham, you got this big old tree, and I did try to draw it again today. So here is the tree roots, and here's Israel. Here's the Gentiles that are going to be grafted on. But there's some other Israelites that fell off. But some of these branches from Abraham's tree, some of the people of Israel have been broken off, and you Gentiles who were branches from a wild olive tree have been grafted in. So God brought you in and made you part of the tree. So now you also receive the blessing God has promised Abraham and his children, sharing in the rich nourishment from the root of God's special olive tree. But you must not brag about being grafted in to replace the branches that were broken off. You are just a branch, not a root. So I did write a little bit on this. Paul talks to the Gentiles about the salvation that some Jews didn't believe, but then he turns around and tells the Gentiles that they shouldn't be getting arrogant. Paul uses the analogy of the olive tree and the branches being Israel. But some branches didn't believe, so they were cut off, and God chose to graft the Gentiles onto the branches. He tells the Gentiles not to get a big head. That's my word, because that's what I think. You get a big head, or arrogant is another word. As he reminds them, it's not the branches that support the roots, but the roots that support the branches. In essence, both Israel and Gentiles need each other. So Paul is saying that we all need each other. We can't stand alone and be strong. We're going to fall off the tree if we don't work together and coexist. So he says, well, you may say those branches were broken off to make room for me. Yes, but remember, those branches were broken off because they didn't believe in Christ. And you are there because you do. So don't think highly of yourself or have a big head, but fear what could happen. For if God did not spare the original branches, he won't spare you either. So God's saying, just because he let you in don't mean that he can't knock you back down. But then we go on. Notice how God is both kind and severe. He is severe towards those who disobeyed, but kind to you if you continue to trust in his kindness. But if you stop trusting, you also will be cut off. And if the people of Israel return from their unbelief, they will be grafted back in again. For God has the power to graft them back into the tree. You by nature were a branch cut from a wild olive tree. So if God was willing to do something contrary to nature by grafting you into his cultivated tree, he will be far from eager to graft the original branches back into the tree where they belong. So Paul is saying, don't get arrogant, don't get to feel like you are better than the Jews, or even the Gentiles who do not believe. So I feel like although you have chosen God, chosen Christ, and you're saved, you're always saved. So I do feel like that you are always there with God, even through your bad times, your good times. So since God decided to let the Gentiles in on the salvation that he gave the Israelites, don't waste it. Don't look at it as just an everyday thing that you can just forget about. Because I know we often do, me included. You keep going every day and you get so used to the routines, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, brushing your hair before you go to work. So don't forget about God, and remember that he's where you find peace when the world's falling apart, the kids are screaming, and you're trying to talk on the phone, or you're driving down the road and you're in rush hour traffic trying to get home because you're just tired, or whatever's going on, remember that God decided that all of us can be his children, and that through that faith and that peace in his love is our grafting to the tree. I hope that made sense. I feel like I rambled today. If I did, I apologize. But it was a good, I really did enjoy it. So I am filling this up. I've got my pages all mixed up now because, you know, I got Romans 8 there. And there's my Zentangle, one of my Zentangle things. I don't remember if I showed y'all. I did put a tab on that, and I put it in this pocket. So, yeah, and then I got Romans 3 there, and 10. And over here somewhere I got 11, and it's just crazy. That's okay. That's me anyway. So today I'm going to work on this journal. So I still have that in there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't want to lose it. My first page on all of my journals, I usually make an envelope that flips up and down. I was trying to decide, did I want it up there or down here? So I have cut off this section. I can still turn it around this way. And we'll just close this part off and open this part. But what I was looking at is if I put it this way, there might be more structure between the window. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it this way. Put the pretty part down here. So I'm not going to need all of this envelope, as you can see. I'm going to cut it off right there. Yep. Okay. So what we're going to do with this envelope today is we're going to take all those pieces right here, all these scraps that I've been collecting. I'm sure I have more somewhere. And we're going to do a collage on this envelope. And I'm going to actually do it on both sides, but I don't know which one to start with first. I want to look and see kind of what scraps I have. So this white part, I can just trim it off. I really don't want the white on there. I need to get my distress ink too, so I can do that as we go. So what I want to do in the end is put one of the women right here or something in this window that will look good. So I might try that first before we get too much glue so we can slide it in. Let me see what I got. So y'all, here's my big crate. It has envelopes. It has all kinds of stuff in here still waiting. There we are. So I think she would fit. No, so get in there better. I'm just going to go ahead and trim that bottom off. And then we can see what we want to put in there for sure. So I could put that. I like it because it has the peace of God, but then we can get her all the way in there. And this is the way that when I'm doing this, I just put it down and try and see what looks better to me. I like that one too, of course. And so I did do this with all the roses, but I'm wanting to add some of the purples to have both journals in there. I'm not so fond of her. I need to get one of her. She would look good too. I think it was this one I was liking, wasn't it? Yeah. She's too big. And look at her. I like her too. See, I get confused on who I look at. I cannot look at her. I think I'm going to put her in there. So I have that one basket, then I've got all this basket with ephemera that we're going to be putting in these. So what I'm doing over here is I'm putting it in to see where, and if I need to trim off any more over there. And I feel like maybe just a hair. Not too much because I want it big enough to fit right there. But I gotta have some to glue it in too. Yeah. So then I think right here. Yeah, just like that. What I'm gonna do while I'm here is go ahead and just ink up this window. You can wipe it off. So I'm gonna be using 2 different glues today. I'm gonna glue her into her little spot first. I was hoping to get this done by tomorrow, but today's Thursday, and it's been just a crazy week for me. So I'm not sure yet. Go down a little bit. I'm not sure yet when I'm going to do the final flip through so we can do the drawings. I'm thinking I should be able to have it done by Sunday, one way or the other. I want to put my to do the videos with it, but you know, if you can't, you can't. Y'all, Deb said it is cold where she's at over there in Scotland. Where I'm at, we're in the 90s. I got my little pink kind of polyester dress shirt on to keep from getting too hot, but I'm still hot. You know, y'all would, yeah, some of y'all would understand for sure. The older ladies that going through that change. It's not fun. So what I'm going to do, since I'm not going to stitch this down. No. I'm going to go around the edge of this to hold it down. That way when you put the card in, it won't be getting caught. I would really like your thoughts on Faith Friday, if you would like to continue or if you would not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here and I'm going to fold it under that little bit right there. And I have problems with stick glue sometimes, so I just go ahead and add a little extra on the edges. But I like the stick glue for collage because it does thicken up your paper quite a bit and gives it more body. So what I'm doing is I'm folding this over to give that a nice little crease, which I just distressed and covered right back up. So this long piece would probably be good at the top, just to fold, to close that top up. Because what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to make it back into a pocket, but it was a lot easier getting that back in there. So see, this is what I'm thinking. Do like that. Oh wow, look how close that is. Almost perfect. Yeah. Do it that side. So you're going to be able to see both sides. And I could put this on there. Some of this is double-sided, but I'm using it for scraps to do my collaging. And if I have enough left over, we can do a master board. So I'm just going to bring that up there and see how it's going to close that. I'm going to press this down. I had a couple more that size. What did I do with it? What I done used it. You're going to be able to see both sides. Maybe what I'll do with this one is fold it over that way. You can see I've printed on the back of this one. She ain't going to know the difference because it's got all that on the front. So I'm going to get over here, close as I can get. Fold that over. Like it all the way down. There we go. Brown would look good there. I do have that, but I really do think the brown would bring in more color. I'm very excited to get closer to being done with one of these. And mine, I'm going to finish the Book of Romans before I put mine into a cover. So we still have that going on at one point. I'm going to put that side, and I didn't put that on there, but let me see. It don't matter if it stays down, but I don't usually have that kind of luck. I'm going to put something right there because it didn't quite get where I wanted it to. I'm just going to trim this one down same way. I love to collage. The only thing is I don't like needing to distress the edges, especially when I'm filming, because it just, when I listen to it on the playback, it just drives me crazy. Put that there. Could put it right there. And fold it around. It's not going to be much to fold. Maybe it will. Let's try it and see. Now I do want to go over the top, don't I? Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm going to cut this a little triangle like we do. Fold this over. And then fold that down. So that has closed up the top. This side did not need closing. We'll get down to the bottom. We're going to do the same thing. So I had this from somewhere. I'm not sure that it went with this kit. That one too. It may. Well, not went with the kit. It came out of a book that I was looking at. I think I like it right there because it just adds some color up there. technically I don't need that much, but if I'll go ahead and just wrap it around to the back, I think. This side straighter, so I'm going to put it over that some so that you got a little bit of variety and change and look. I'm just going to fold it in just like we did the other part. So I saw this in my that's what I wanted to do with it, was add some in little spots. It was a throwaway piece that got in there, and this would be good for clusters too. You could just staple it on or glue it on. It's hard to see if this will do. So I have some music page, but I don't have much. I want to get a church hymnal. See, I could have just brought this all the way on down. Should I go ahead or we'll wait? So what can I put there that is different, not quite going with the rest of it? And this, would that look good? Let's see. Or this brown right there. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed the Peace of God Bible study. We do plan on having another Bible study coming out in August at this point. I think I'm going to have one in July, and probably, I know I'm going to do Faith Fridays in some kind of fashion because I want to continue that. So right now I'm going to work on this side a little bit, so when we get down to the bottom I can have it wrapping around again and know a little bit more of what I've got going on. That one may go right there. And the top is up there, so I think this one can actually get turned around at the bottom so it can flip over and not be upside down. If I do have upside down, I prefer it to be on this side if possible. So what I could do, let's see, I want it folded right about there. See how it's going to cover that up too? I could slide it over, but I think I want something different there. Yeah. So James is out of school. He's gone right now. His mama got him a season pass to Jump Time, which is a bouncy house balloon place. So he's all excited, and she told him, you got to behave, you're not going. So I don't know if she's going to take him every day during the week or how she's going to do that. But he was excited. I don't know why I keep laying that down over there. And then I'm probably making a mess there because I'm turning it over. Let's see. It helps if you put glue on it. I'd like it some bigger pieces. Got this. I like it there. Fold it around to right about there. You know what? That's going to make that end upside down then. I may just do it this way. And then that little bit be upside down. I definitely do need to close that. Do it right there and cut that off. I can do this straight. So that could go right here too. So I just pick and choose my pieces as to what might look good, where I like it. Sometimes I just, whatever I grab, depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So Deb and Rhonda, I know, have done a, we call it diamond painting video. I have not done mine yet because yesterday got a little crazy. I was going to try and do one yesterday, but it just didn't happen. I may see if I can get one in today to post up. So I might have 2 videos and just do a short one with the diamond painting, so I can get in on that collaboration. Because Rhonda is the one that started it with art, that I know of. She has another lady that she's collaborating with, and it's an open collaboration, so you can join it without, you don't need anything to join. I do like that there better. Maybe cut it right here. So it doesn't take a long time to do these. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I do need that folded over, but I'm going to wind up putting another piece on there because I am going to have it to where it flips. See, now I've made a list of what I need to do with this particular journal because there's some steps that I need to do in a certain order when I do it. That way I don't get too confused. I don't know if that one will, I think it'll be okay. Might be just the right one to get some color there, but not too much. So I am going to put this on the back, or on that page, and I'm going to have it to where it flips up, and that you can, so what I want to do over here is figure out where I want it folded. So see, I'm folding it to this little line where I want it, and then I'm going to glue it. So my other kids, they are on summer vacation, I think, too, my grandkids. So they'll probably be coming over at some point in the summer. So now what I want to do, because I have it basically, I need to put a little piece and fold it over this way. I could put something right there. Let's see what else I got. would probably look pretty right there, wouldn't it? So when they get this small, it's hard for me to cut them on the trimmer, even though I cut crooked as can be. And I know that some can do it. I'm not very good at it. Let me see. I think I'm going to go right about here. Today I'm just, I don't know, I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about. Let's see. I want these little stars on this side. I'm going to start on this side this time. And put it like that. I'm going to trim up this corner a little bit. Fold that over, and then I'm going to fold this over. I need to put a little bit of glue right there. So now if you have any open spots, you just go and you keep gluing on till you feel like you're where you want to be. I got one or two more places that I want to look at. So I don't want too bad, maybe a little piece right there, but it don't have to be. And I got I'm going to just cut off a little piece. I like that star again, so we're going to put it on there. So now's the time if you want to put little pieces hanging out and do more collaging, or you could have done that. You could have done this with the full page and just cut it out. I love collaging, so that's why it's a little bit bright. Okay, this here I need to clean out, because when you do your inking on your window, you can wipe that ink off of the plastic part. Okay, I need to do this. And now I'm just I don't need that bottom inked. I'm trying to think as I go. I do want to put a piece right there. What do I have? I have this. Yep, I think that will work. So I do have enough left to do a master board. I got glue on that side. And then I'm going to go lay it back in the glue. I'll tell you what. So I will if I can do the flip through on Sunday, what I'm going to do is wait 2 weeks for people to get a chance to see the video and to leave a reply. And we will do a drawing for this. And it will be open worldwide. You have to be 18 or older. All right, what I'm going to do in here, I wanted this to go on this page. Like this. So I'm going to put some strips right in here for it to open up this way. I could use the tape too, just to give it a different texture, so maybe we'll do that. I want it just about the same size as my envelope. And so see, I could go a little bit more, but I want to leave that on there. So I've got this side I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to bring, wrong page, wow. I realized I had 3 pages in there. So I'm going to bring this right here. I think it needs to go. That tape don't want to rip, that's for sure. Let me get it off just a little bit. It's a little bit too long, so my envelope is a little bigger than the one that's on top or on the bottom, so which is fine. It will open up just the way it needs to open up. So I got this little piece. I am going to just stick it in here somewhere. So that might be a problem. I need to get it a little bit more. Look, come on. So I really want it butted up, and what I can do though is maybe put a piece on the other side. That would be a thought, wouldn't it? Yeah, because that's not going to fold up right. This back here somewhere, maybe on a page or something. Let's see, so I need to work on this for a minute. I need a little piece to cover that. What I'm going to do is use some of the papers. It should be fun. So I'm folding it in half, so maybe I can get it in that little crease a little bit easier. And that's what I'm doing, is just kind of poking the crease down in there. So this definitely will need to dry. I'm going to use Velcro. And I always get these backwards, so let's see if I can do this right this time. And what I'm going to do, is I want the rough side on this side, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to stick them on. I got both of them, the sticky sides out. So you got a rough side and a soft fuzzy side. And I'm just going to put them right in there. And then I'm going to flip it over. And there you go. So I'm going to leave that and let it adhere a little bit. So we need 5 pockets or 5 journaling cards. I'm not sure if I'm going to do those yet or not. Let's look at the pockets and stuff and see what I can get in there. So this is my box of goodies. I have this. I never did decide what I was going to do with that. If I was going to... I got this one too. I think we'll go with the brown. I don't know. It needs something else on it. And I got a dress. Yeah, I went crazy on them dresses. That one goes with that. Let's see. That one might, but it doesn't have the green yet. So I'm going to... So I've got some other tags and stuff for another journal. What else I got in here? That one would go in there. That one on one of the boxes. See, I have trash everywhere. Not trash, my goodies. I have this one. I don't think it goes with that, so we're going to wait. Let's see, here's some more little pieces of paper that can go on the collage. Let's see. We've got envelopes we need to fold up, so we can do that right now. I have more. I think the rest of this is ephemera to go in. And if I folded that one, we'll put that one in there. I'll grab a couple of these to have. And here's some of our journaling cards that I made, so those may fit just perfect. I have this that would go in there. Here's some more tag things. Okay, so let's see what we can do. What we got. I think these wound up too small. I don't know, they might go in there somewhere. We'll look. And then I cut those out too. And all of these. Alright, that's some to start with. I know I said some, but we wound up with more than some. So this is all the stuff that we've been working on. Let me set this over here. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one yet. So we have these journaling cards, which I think I would like a bigger one. I want one to fit the whole. Yeah, these can go in another place because I want a full-size page. See, this here would be perfect. Put it on a card and it'll fit just right. This one too. Maybe do a little collage card, so we can do that. So let's do these envelopes real quick. What I like to use is my ruler. You can use a scoreboard, but you get right there where these corners meet, and you just fold it up. And basically the same thing, you go here where these lines meet, do the same thing. So I can plan on the journaling cards could be for tomorrow, because I think we're getting a little long here already on this video. But I know that if I wait and do it all, it's going to be too much. And you can decide if you want to glue this in or if you want to have it out. There's all kinds of options. So you could put it in there as a glued envelope and then leave the back where you can put some tags in. So I do try and get right here, because if I've already made the envelope darker, then it seems like the inside should be kind of aged too. So then I just fold that over. I may need to trim right there. I do. So if it doesn't close right, just trim a little. There you go. So I'm going to put some glue right here. I don't need to go all the way to the top, I don't think. Okay, so we got one envelope. So I wanted to do a few envelopes with you that way, in case you didn't know how to make them or how to fold them up. It could kind of help. And you don't have to have a ruler. You could use like this scrap board that I got would be good. Just something with a straight edge. And I'm trimming just a little bit off of these because they're a little bit big, a little bit tall. And you can decorate these up, which we may do tomorrow or after we get them in our books. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll go check out my creative team. Diane, Rhonda, Christina, Tara, Janie, Samantha, Dibs, and Polly. You'll find their links in the description below. When you get over there, just tell them that Esther sent you. And they all have different videos on this Bible study for the peace of God. We're over 80 videos. That's if I got them all, because I probably missed a few. But thank you so much for stopping by.